All right now, how's it going there, people? See if I can't make a firewood video here today. I wanted to share 3 things about firewood this morning, and they're just kind of 3 tips and 3 things that I've learned, 3 things that I think are kind of interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about these 3 tips or things that I've come across, and hopefully you find it interesting as well. I think you will, and the more that you think about these 3 things when you're out and about doing your firewood, the more you'll realize how key they really are. So without further ado, let's go ahead and move into them now. I wanted to share with you all firstly that I was out cutting and splitting firewood, and when you use a log splitter like I do that has a beam on it, and I'm using my chest a lot to hold those big rounds up and throw them on the table, and then I bump into the wood a lot right here on the whole front of my t-shirts. So they were absolutely filthy. Anything that I wear to split a bunch of wood, it gets completely soiled. I mean, just brown stains on it. Now I wanted to share, I like to wear long sleeves too, but this shirt in particular was completely disgusting. I mean, you wouldn't believe the entire front of this shirt was brown. I'm talking like stained bark and dirt and mud and sawdust, completely brown. Now look at the way this shirt looks. I am really impressed. I got this thing so clean. I could wear this in public, and I might just do that just to celebrate it. This shirt is actually from 1995, I think. Yeah, copyright 1996 I've had this shirt. Copyright 1996. So it's been around a while. I have some old t-shirts, but I was kind of upset because it was kind of stained, so I made it into a firewood shirt. And I wore it out there twice, not once, but twice. And when I was done working, it was completely just brown. It's kind of an off-white color, but not a good color for firewood. And I just wanted to share, I soaked this in just some warm water and some bleach. And I mean, I know that's not the biggest secret in the world, but it came immaculately clean. I am so impressed with that. Look at that shirt. So I think I'm going to quit wearing this one when I'm splitting wood, because I do kind of like the shirt, and it's cleaner now than it's been in a long time. It does have a little stain on it still right here from doing an oil change or something in it, but this looks really good. So like I said, what I did, I took this into my laundry room sink. I ran a little warm water in it, and I kind of put it in there and wrung it out a couple times to get the heavy duty stuff out of it. And then I just took a splash of bleach and put it in some warm water and threw that shirt in there and let it soak for a few hours, and then washed it, and it comes out really nice. So if you're doing firewood, try a little bleach on your clothes. Now, I mean, if you got a colored shirt or whatever, that bleach could take the color out of like a blue shirt or something. So, but for white clothes and things, bleach will somehow it bleaches out that wood and takes that color right out of it. I was really impressed. So that's number 1. And the number 2 brain fart that I had is I was just kind of thinking, I see sparks when I'm working, when I'm bucking up wood. A lot of times, sometimes you'll see a few sparks fly out of it now, and I don't think that's what you think it is. It's not like if you're doing locust that the wood is so hard that it's like grinding it on metal or something, and you're sparking metal on metal type of sparks. I think what that is, and this is just my opinion, if you got another one, let me know, but I think that's basically the same thing as like starting a friction fire between, rubbing 2 sticks together. I think that chain is spinning so fast that it heats that wood up, and just little pieces of sawdust and things probably get so hot that they go flying off of there, and they catch the air and light up and kind of spark up. I think that's all that is. It's just friction from getting real hot in there, and then you have all that microfine sawdust particles that get so hot, and sometimes they'll probably just light up and it looks like a spark, but it's not a spark like you would think, like you have metal on metal like a grinding wheel or something and it's sparking. It's just heating that wood up and throwing out little hot pieces of sawdust. So something else that came across my mind when I was sawing the other day, because I do see sparks from time to time, and I also think that the more dull that your chain is, the more likely it is to do that, because when you're dull, you're just spinning around and around and around and heating that thing up, like I said, like friction. But it will do it with a sharp chain too. I mean, if you're cutting Osage orange or locust or something real hard and real dry, and you hit a hard spot in the wood and your saw is building up some heat, it will still do it when it's sharp. So that's just another thought I had here now. So moving along, and also I wanted to mention in this video right now, we'll go ahead and clear the air. I did cut my hair and gave myself a summer haircut now. So I'm probably going to be wearing a hat a lot here in the near future because, you know, I had it a little long on top, and well, I cut my hair myself, and I got to admit that the lines were getting a little bit messed up on it and it wasn't straight anymore. So I started taking a little bit more off and then a little bit more off, and I was like, man, this is just not straight. So I said, why don't I just give myself a summer haircut and see how I look if I just shave it all one length. So I went ahead and I buzzed the top of my hair off, and I'm not so sure. I didn't think it would be a big change because it was almost shaved already, all the way already, and it does look a little bit different. So I don't know, I got to get used to it. I'm not going to even take my hat off and show you right now. It's growing on me, but every time I walk past some mirror and I look, I'm like, whoa, who's that guy? It is a little bit different. It's just, you know, it's all one length now. So I'm going to grow that out for another couple months and try to get the top long again. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get used to it. It is growing on me a little bit, if you know what I mean. No pun intended. So, like I said, moving along, the number 3 thing that I wanted to talk about today was walking on pallets and how to preserve your pallets. If you take the time to go and find some pallet wood and bring home pallets and source them and everything, the last thing you want to do is go crashing around on them and break them all up, because they will break. And a lot of them, the ones that aren't oak, that are just cedar or pine or just crap wood off of some sawmill, those will break very easily. I mean, now you can find some not real nice oak, heavy, thick pallets, and those are a little more tolerable. But even those, I have broken those. I wheel those big rounds in, and I don't even want to lift them again. So I'll just take my wheelbarrow and dump rounds on them. And even those thick pallets will break when you do that, when you just dump rounds on them. So I was breaking a lot of my pallets, and now you may think this is a little bit silly and whatever, but the more you're out working on firewood, I'm telling you, this tip will come in handy and it will save your pallets. So just learn to walk on your pallets. When I first got them, I was just walking on them and walking around and stepping on them and stacking wood, and they were breaking under my feet all the time because they just can't hold that much weight when you're stepping on them and you got 200 pounds of weight. So think about where you step when you're walking on your pallets. You want to step on the cross braces, the supports underneath. So I mean, don't just step in the middle of the pallet and break it in half. Step on where the cross braces run underneath the pallet. You know what I'm saying? How they make crosses. You don't want to step on the flat planks. You want to step on the reinforcements, the studs, if you will, on the pallet. So as you're stacking wood or everything, you'll get used to it. I mean, you'll be standing like this on one, and if you're unloading over here and your stack's over here, you're going to kind of have to learn to stand on the edge and put your other foot on a cross brace, or learn to pick it up, and your first step needs to be all the way over here and then stack. So don't just grab your wood and turn around and stomp on your pallet, because you'll just break it up, and it adds up fast. I mean, you break 3 or 4 pallets, and then, you know, all of a sudden your wood yard's full of all these shattered, broken up, busted up pallets, and it gets harder to stack your wood. They don't last as long. So I think that's a good little tip. Just learn to walk on your pallets. Take the time to step on the reinforcement studs on the bottom of those, and you will get used to doing it. I mean, if you do it for a while, you'll start to realize that you're just kind of subconsciously stepping over the pallets and you're learning to walk on them without even thinking about it as much. So that's something else I've learned, and that was my 3 tips for today. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe here now, and I'll see you guys next time.